Good afternoon, students. Today we will see about suctioning. So, aspiration of secretion through the catheter connected to suction machine or wall-mounted suction outlet. It will be called as suctioning. So, basically, how we go for suctioning in case of an ICU or in wards also nowadays central line for suctioning is available. Suctioning can be have basically of four types: it will be oropharyngeal, nasopharyngeal, endotracheal, and tracheostomy directly. Okay, these are the four sites from where we can go for a suctioning procedure. Now, what is the difference between the oropharyngeal, naropharyngeal, and endotracheal suctioning and tracheostomy suctioning? So, first one we will see about an oropharyngeal and nasopharyngeal. So, in case of a nasopharyngeal suctioning, it will remove the suction from the only upper respiratory tract, while endotracheal and tracheostomy suctioning will do the suctioning from the lower respiratory tract. These are the basic difference or from where we have to adapt the changes. Now, what are the purpose of suctioning? What is the use or what is the purpose? To maintain the normal oral or nasal hygiene or upper respiratory or lower respiratory hygiene for the comfort of the patient, and to remove the blood and vomit, or in case of an extra collection of the fluid in the upper respiratory tract as well as lower respiratory tract when the patient is unable to do active coughing or coughing has been restricted due to medical conditions. Now, what are the indications for oropharyngeal and nasopharyngeal suctioning? Number one, patient has undergone any kind of head or neck or facial surgeries. Patient have a respiratory distress syndrome, and evidence of the patient is not able to cough or expectation is secretion out. Now we will see what are the indications. We have seen about a patient has gone for any kind of neck, facial or head surgeries when the patient is in the respiratory distress or is unable to do the cough. Now other indications which involve the prevention of any kind of respiratory infections and obtain the sample for the diagnostic procedure. These are the indications for oropharyngeal and nasopharyngeal suctioning. Now what about tracheal? That is both for the tracheal as well as endotracheal tube. So patient is unable to secrete because of his or herself, or when the patient is connected for the any kind of mechanical ventilations. Now what are the signs which indicate that the patient has to go for subject is to go for the suctioning procedure? So when your respiratory rate is abnormal, you have an extra kind of adventitious sound like in wheeze, or nasal secretion has been there, patient is going for restlessness, or when you check for the auscultation, there is a dull sounds around the areas of the lung, or there is a decrease in clear cut coughing, or patient is unable to maintain the natural cough mechanism, and then we have to go for such sign for suctioning procedure. Now what about the measurement of the pressure we have to maintain? For adult, child and pediatric we have a different kind of pressure. For adult we have to go for 100 to 120 mm of Hg in case of it is a wall unit or fixed wall unit, or if it is a portable trolley unit, then you have to go for 15 mm to 15 mm of Hg to 10 mm of Hg. Okay, in case of a pediatric population, we have to go for 110 mm of Hg, and in case of a portable unit, we have to go for 10 mm to 5 mm of Hg. While in case of an infants less than 1 year, then we have to go for 95 mm of Hg. In case of an infants up to 1 year, then we have to go for 95 mm of Hg. In case of wall unit, and in case of a portable unit, we have to go for an 5 mm of Hg. These are the equipment settings used for the pressure used for the, and we also have the different size of the suctioning catheter which is used for the adult as well as pediatric population. Other than this wall unit, what are the other things is required? That will require a resistance pad or towel, then sterilized disposal container for the fluids, normal saline water, then sterilized gloves and goggles for the face shield, then sterilized suction catheter 12 to 14 F size for adult and 8 to 10 F size for children. sterilized gall, moistures and sputum cup. Before beginning, check your facilities with doctor's order, how much the time patient has recommended and on which position the patient has been recommended for the same. And we have to see the blood gas values, whether the patient is going for the respiratory alkalosis or respiratory acidosis. Check for the normal vitals, is vital stable or not. Evaluate the patient's ability, whether this patient is able to do any kind of active cough or not. If it is so, then how it is available. Explain the patient's or patient relative in case of the patient is irresponsiveness, and inform consent should be taken from patient's relative. While doing so, if the patient is able to do actively, then we have to ask the patient to support in that, and we have to counsel in such a way that patient does not go for any kind of anxiety or fever, which will ultimately increase the respiratory workload. Wash your hand and have a sterilized procedure has to be followed, and after the semi-flawless position has been adapted by the patients, turn the machines towards your patients along with your suctioning catheter, and hold the suctioning catheter and try to get inserted slowly inside up to the mark has been given on side the catheter tube. Till that we have to go inside in a circular manner slowly, and till that, however, the suctioning along with the negative pressure, whatever the suctioning is coming through the unit, it will be seen inside the catheter cup, and we can monitor that whether any kind of fresh blood or old clot blood is coming or not. If it is a fresh blood is coming, and that has to be look for that whether we are going on the right direction or you are hitting on the tracheal wall. After removal of the suctioning catheter, it has to be clean with the sterilized gauze. Then it has to be inserted inside the sterilized water, and it has to be clear for the next suction. And that same container will not be used for the repeated all the time. You have to change the sterile container, so that whatever the in the previous suction we have got, it will not be again reinserted inside the next procedure. And it is to be clearly taken and check with the normal water also, that whether there is any block or any kind of reversal of suctioning is coming or not. Same procedure will be continue till the 5 to 7 times, or when you are able to see the saturation has been improved well, or patient is responding well. In case in same time while the procedure, we have to look for the vitals, and SpO2 is going less than 80, then we have to stop the procedure, and patient should be connected for the oxygenation for 10 minutes. While removing from the inside from the trachea to the upper part, it should be rotated in the anti-clockwise. Slowly it will be come out, and we have to document the record procedure, that how much the amount was there, what was the consistency, what was the color, what was the order of the mucus, and client breathing status before the suctioning and after the suctioning. That has to be looked for while doing this suctioning procedure in for the airways. In case of when we have to look for the complication, that patient may go for hypoxemia, trauma to the direct trachea, nosocomial infection is most common, and cardiac death arrhythmias happen. If it is so, then we have to look for to stop the procedure in between, and till the vital is getting stable, you have to go for a next suction. This is how the suctioning is done to maintain the possible airways. And what are the techniques which can minimize the complication? That don't allow the direct insertion of the catheter, and at least 3 minutes of pre-oxygenation should be done before doing the surgery, so there will no chances of patient is going for a certain amount of hypoxemia or all of sudden cardiac instability. And same time while performing the procedure, your colleagues or you have to monitor for the continuous in the vital. If any vitals is getting updated, then it has to be checked for the next procedure has to be continue, or it has to stop in between. This is how the complete procedure has been done. All the way we have to follow the strict aseptic techniques, so the patient does not get any kind of nosocomial infections.